Hi and welcome to my channel on mental health. Now in this video I'm going to be talking about schizophrenia and the misconceptions. There are many misconceptions that around schizophrenia that has created a barrier there, that has created stigma, especially for those that are suffering with a condition. It's a condition, an illness, it's a disorder that affects the brain. Like the brain becomes interrupted, causing the delusions there, the disorganized thinking, like the false and reality, not being able to differentiate what is true and what is reality and what is false. Now, it's the thinking, and also as well the hallucinations that occur, the seeing and hearing things, most likely hearing voices and so forth like that. So schizophrenia, the name, for some people, it means nothing to them. It's not part of them. It's not part of their identity. It's not who they are. It's, like I said, it's a disorder there. It's a disorder that affects many people. So raising that awareness there to help erase that stigma is getting an understanding the reality of schizophrenia and not the misconceptions, the myths. Now, many people may think that schizophrenia is a split personality, which is not. A split personality is a different disorder that affects a person's, that has many identities. It's separate. It's not schizophrenia. The reason why many people may think that is because of the thinking, like the false and the reality, not being able to differentiate the split from the thoughts. That's why many people get confused with it. It's a split from thoughts, the behavior, the thinking as well. It's a split there. The name, actually, now if I remember this correctly, doing a bit of understanding around it, the schizo is split and phrenia is the mind. So that's what it actually means, the mind. Phrenia is the mind. So the misconceptions is like thinking that schizophrenia is a split personality when it's more of it's the thinking side of things, the hallucinations, the delusional thinking there, and not a split personality, the different identities and so forth. Separating, we have to understand and raise that awareness there of separating the illness from who that person really is. And at the end of the day, they are not the illness. So learning to separate, understanding it better, and understanding that it's a name that basically has been put to a disorder, and for many people feel like it's a label to them and not that good. So it doesn't mean that how can I explain it? The schizophrenia in itself isn't who they actually are. So that's that one thing. And also as well, it's genetic. It's in the genes. It comes like it's in the genes. It's not through poor upbringing. Like many years ago, many people used to think that schizophrenia was brought on by poor upbringing, when it's not. It's a genetic side of things, but also as well environmental risk as well can onset it as well. Like, it doesn't mean to say if someone in your family, like say your mother has schizophrenia, it doesn't mean to say that you're going to actually get it. It can give you, it's 25%, 30%. It may put you at that more risk, but it doesn't mean to say someone else is going to get it. It's just that it's in the genes as well. And the environmental side of things, the environmental risk of can do it as well, like the own environment, the onsets of it, like stress, like the stress around things can quite easily onset it. Many like unhealthy habits as well, like substance abuse, may onset it as well. So it's not through poor upbringing. Like many years ago, many people thought that, and it's not. So that's another misconception there. Another one as well, many people may think there's nothing much you can do for schizophrenia when there is. There's treatments and there's recovery for schizophrenia. Having that right treatment, the proper treatments there, like the psychotherapies, CBT therapies, and quite often medication at first as well, but not just the medication, having other support having other support groups around you, and the therapies there, those therapy treatments, it has to be done on long-term basis, not a short-term basis, because schizophrenia in itself is a severe illness, a severe disorder there, but it is treatable. Having those right treatments, those right therapies, learning to like socially connect again, because quite often someone as well, there's two components with schizophrenia, the symptoms, and the negatives are the social aspects, the disconnection from being social, whether it's withdrawn within their self and not being very sociable, like the social aspects, finding it difficult to socialise with other people, becoming more quiet within themselves, having that their emotions and having that flat look, the flat look about them, and so forth like that. Motivation, that's another one, finding it very difficult to do day-to-day tasks, day-to-day living, finding it very difficult, like disinterest, the disinterest in things, activities that a person once enjoyed, and pulling away from that. That's another symptom, another sign as well, and those signs normally occur first. With schizophrenia, it's not something that comes in quickly, it's something that comes in gradually, and it's mainly the negative symptoms that occur, and then goes on to the more severe, which they call psychotic break, like the delusional thinking, and in some cases paranoia as well, and seeing and hearing things, and even smells. That's the more psychotic side of things, which gradually occur with it. So there's many things to understand about schizophrenia in itself, but it is treatable. It's treatable with the right treatments and so forth like that. A person can be able to start to function better, start to learn to do day-to-day activities, and then start to enjoy those activities, learning to socialise again and being more social, and and starting to be more independent, doing self-help cares, doing things themselves, doing things that they enjoy doing. Many people that suffer with the disorder can start to live a more fulfillable and enjoyable life with schizophrenia. So it is possible, there's hope there. And many people may get to that stage where they're able to like maintain those symptoms. The symptoms may lessen and they're able to maintain those symptoms and still live a fulfillable, joyful life. Some people fully recover from schizophrenia, but it has to have the right treatments. Early responses there, like the early interventions, I should say, can benefit somebody. The proper treatments in itself can benefit somebody and then recover properly with self-help care, doing things like I said, doing things they enjoy doing. And like I said, some people fully recover. Not everybody, but it is possible to do. Some people fully recover for those symptoms, fully recover and come off their medication as well, become symptom-free, fully symptom-free and medication-free. Now, me and my partner, we watched a documentary. It's called Take These Broken Wings, and it is about schizophrenia. It was Daniel Mackler. That was it, yeah. It's a documentary about two ladies that had schizophrenia and they were in severe situations, catastrophic states, really bad. They got through it. They had the right treatments and they managed to get through it and become recovered fully and made something of themselves. One's had some books out, and another one worked in the mental health field, in mental health teams and so forth like that, and come completely off their medication. So it is possible to do. It's raising that awareness there, understanding that the reality of schizophrenia and we'll get a better understanding and help erase that stigma that was built up around schizophrenia that still is as well. And another thing as well, many people think that people with schizophrenia, and this is another misconception, that they are violent. Anybody could be violent, anybody can have anger issues without a mental illness. Yes, some people are, but it is very rare that a person will be violent towards and go out and be violent in the community quite often, and it's quite often they become the victims of the violence because they feel they've been singled out, they feel vulnerable, like being singled out. They may be in vulnerable situations where they may be homeless or they may be in shelters or just being out in the community, being around in the community. It's very rare that someone with schizophrenia will go out and be violent. Quite often things occur, they may go within their self and find it very difficult because of it and try like suicidal thoughts with that as well. So it's a very serious illness, but it's an illness that can be treated and recovered. We must give hope for schizophrenia, talk about it more. There are many people who have got stories out maybe that have maintained and recovered. By doing that, telling their stories can help with the stigma and help people understand it better, getting that better understanding around it as well. Because like I said, it may take, everybody recovers no matter what in different speeds as well. You know, different speeds and so forth like that. But understanding it better, understanding the reality of schizophrenia can help and erase that stigma, because the stigma that has been built up around it hasn't helped those that are suffering with the illness. And it's an illness, it's not who they are as a person, it's an illness that affects them in different ways. Everybody gets affected differently with schizophrenia. The symptoms may affect each individual differently. Not everybody gets all the symptoms, not everybody gets the hallucinations, they may just get the delusional thoughts. But it's possible, and it's possible to maintain, and it's possible as well to do that self-recovery with schizophrenia to help with it. It will help with it. And it's like many people say, people with schizophrenia won't hold down a job, may be unemployed. There may be some that may find it difficult to hold down a job, depending on the situations there. But there are some that do work, that do have jobs, even if it's just voluntary, doing something that is doing a job that is going to be less stressful on their self, maybe helping others. It can help them be given a more meaningful life as well. Some voluntary work, little steps, baby steps, some peer support to help themselves and help others as well, can give them a purpose in life, meaning, a more meaningful life, a more joyful life as well. So the misconceptions around schizophrenia has caused problems. Society in itself, of, you know, how it was a long time ago, is because of lack of understanding. Many people shut away in being hospitalised because society didn't want them there, didn't want them out, didn't want them in society, because of the lack of understanding around it. We've come a long way now with it all. So this day and age, there should be no stigma, but just get that understanding, get a better understanding around it, can help yourself get more insight with it, can help yourself, and it can also help others as well. So I'm going to end the video there, and please share this video because it's very important. You know, schizophrenia, we must keep it in the conversation, raise that awareness there and keep it in the conversation, keep it in the light. It's an illness that can be treated, it can be treated, and there is recovery. So let's have that hope there and keep it in the conversation. So yes, please share and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.